Welcome back to a little update video. As always, I'm using the Fractal theory, explanation video, tutorial, and so on. I will put at the end of the video. How we start today? I will start today with FFAI, BYND, and AMC. I will put them together. You don't have to watch it. Yeah, I'm just saying. I will explain some things because of reverse splits and levels and price targets. It is important, especially for some people. Just saying. If you don't watch it, don't be surprised afterwards. Just saying. Okay, so let's start with FFAI. So we are not talking about the tracking today, about FFAI. And today will be the day of the 101 to 150 reverse split. I just taking, you see the it's not already at its reverse split level, but the drawings are already adjusted on TradingView. But we are not talking about the tracking today. It's just what does a reverse split do with the chart. So really quick. First, this chart is not changing with a reverse split. You won't see suddenly something like this because of a reverse split. No. The only thing which is changing are these numbers here on the right side. Yeah. So, for example, because we are doing a 1 to 150 reverse split, $1 from today on will be $150. And that's why there is a big problem with reverse splits, especially when you already had 4 reverse splits. And especially if you have a fucking big one. Yeah. The problem is with our original tracking, our maximum target for if FFAI would have been bullish would have been $150. Why? Because we already had 3 reverse splits. I always said without a forward split, and the forward split is the completely opposite to a reverse split. A reverse split 1 to 150 just means for every share you have, you will lose 150 shares. Yeah. And because of that, the price is going up. A forward split is the same thing like GameStop did. Let's say a 50 to 1 reverse split. In that case, you get for every share you have 50 additional shares. But at the same time, the price is dropping. Yeah, it's completely opposite. So for the bullish tracking for FFAI back then was to go through this. The point was without a forward split, it's not possible. Now, with this 150 to 1 or 1 to 150 reverse split, even this is unreachable. Because you have to think, this was sitting at $140. Yeah. This will sit tomorrow at $22,000. And the problem is that, in my opinion, and it's no financial advice, with the old chart, FFAI won't even break $1 anymore. And the old $1. Because the $1 here, this level will be $150 after the reverse split. I think that is why I always said breaking 20 cents for FFAI is fucking bad because it will destroy the chart. So, for the conclusion for FFAI, why this is fucking bad is we will open at right now, I think $12 or ish or something like that. But in my opinion, we will never ever break this trend line again. Yeah? In the next update, we will see the new chart. Yeah. Because then the reverse split is done and all numbers and all drawings are correct. But this is a death spiral, in my opinion, which FFAI won't ever escape again. Yeah. 4 reverse split, 1 big one. It will look like this. In my opinion, that's already fixed. Yeah. Because of the question, is it possible to go up here? I mean, okay. if they're doing so well, they can do a forward split again. But a forward split, these numbers here will be reachable with a forward split, but also the forward split will fuck with your position. Because every split is fucking with your position. Yeah. Normally forward splits are done by the big ones like Google, Microsoft, Meta, whatever. Because when the price gets, let's say, to $1,000, they want to cut it down so more people are buying it again. Yeah. But for FFAI, and just saying, it's another electric car company. And I said back then here, we will talk about that for AMC and beyond after that also. In the moment we broke the no-no line, this was our T, we got a fucking knife. And I said, if we break 20 cents, we fucking go to 10 cents. And we will do a reverse split. And a big one. And we did it. Yeah. Okay, so much for reverse split. Let's jump into beyond. So, for beyond, to make that absolutely clear, breaking of 57 cents yesterday was fucking bad. But we start with the opium tracking today. Yeah, just to get that over with. With this break yesterday, there is no discussion anymore that this was our T. End of story. Yeah, this was our T of our higher low. Yeah, so. And to say that also, we got a pretty good knife, as usual. I just don't think that this knife is over yet. Yeah, the same thing I said with FFAI back then. When you break your T-line, you normally get a big knife. This yesterday could be it, but in my opinion, normally that's not enough. So we will go lower. We have earnings on the 5th of August. So I think we will fall into this date. The only important thing for this tracking is we are not allowed to break 50 cents. And to make it absolutely clear, I named this tracking opium on purpose because we will talk about that in the bearish version. It's not really likely, but if it's working, the next weeks until earnings, nothing will happen. We will fall into the earnings and just hopefully we are not breaking 50 cents. If we do that, everything is fine. Yeah. The only other alternative is that for whatever reason this is our V and we're doing the higher low till August 5th and the earnings. I really have to say I don't expect anything big till August. I don't see something like this. Yeah. The only homework we have right now is fucking stay over 50 cents. Otherwise, nothing changed. Our next level is still between 15 and 44, yeah, for our macro A, if we're holding 50 cents. The only thing which really changing is the time. This target was July, August. But I said always, this time target is only holding if we're holding this low. We broke that yesterday. So this price target, and not the price target, this time target is dead because we broke this low. Yeah. Right now, the only thing we are looking for is holding over 50 cents. Yeah. And then everything is still okay. Now to the bearish version. Yeah. So for all people who are always criticizing me, you can go further and watch AMC because the bearish methods, the bearish version never interests you and you're always surprised then. Yeah. I only say that really so directly because I again got yesterday a nice message that from now on, I will inverse tracking you because you're always wrong. And another one bites the dust, blah, 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 blah. Please, guys, tell me if I see that wrong. Did I present it beyond in the last weeks and months wrong? Wasn't I really saying, be careful, guys, I'm bearish since we broke this level. Be careful, if we break 57 cents, it's bad. The same like FFAI, when I said, fucking be careful if you break 20 cents. I don't know how to make it more and more clear when I give out these warnings. I am not presenting bearish versions just to say, oh, if it goes wrong, I can say I was still right. No, I present you the bullish and the bearish versions with fixed levels for a reason. Yeah, I am not controlling the stock price. And again, the fractal is not here to save companies. The fractal is an asshole. If you're breaking levels to the up or downside and you play against it, again, the fractal will kill you. The fractal doesn't care about fundamentals or whatever. Yeah? Just saying. Tell me if I was too bullish presenting beyond, because in my opinion, I said in every video, I'm fucking bearish on it. Tell me, maybe I see that wrong. Tell me how I could do it better. Now to the bear version for beyond. And one absolutely fixed point is I always said we're not allowed to break 57 cents. Why? Because this would become T. And the problem with this T is the same as FFAI. Normally, when you're breaking your T, you're doing a pretty good knife. Yeah. And to make that absolutely clear, this is not a good knife. Yeah. We have the hopium tracking. But still, if this will become a pretty good knife, you really will knife. The same like FFAI. The problem with Beyond here is that if we're doing this pretty good knife, in my opinion, we break all-time low. If we break all-time low, and that's the shitty part on Beyond, because the house of cards will drop. Because in that case, this is not a higher low anymore. And this is our macro higher low, our biggest higher low. If this is breaking, this becomes T. And if this becomes T, it's the same as here. If you break this level, you get a knife. If you break this level, you get the bigger knife. And if you're breaking this bigger knife, your target is not something like 43. No, your target is something between 30 and 10 cents. The same like FFAI. And that's the shitty part about this. Yeah. And to make that clear, because I also got the question, yeah, but there won't be a reverse split or beyond because they will double beat earnings. They still can extend 100 days on NASDAQ, blah, blah, blah. There won't be a reverse split. I was not talking about a reverse split because of time. Yeah, because I agree. They can ask for additional 180 days. Same like FFAI. I was talking about a reverse split because of price. Same like FFAI. Because we would break macro T here. That is something you would really knife. And down here, they would do a reverse split. If you're coming that low, they will do one. That's the main problem. And to make that absolutely clear, the danger of a reverse split, if you break 50, is, for me at least, no financial advice, over 90%. They already voted for it. They can just say, let's say we're doing a 50% knife today. Not expecting that, but let's say that. After close, they can say, on Monday, there will be a reverse split. It's everything already fixed. They can do that. That's the shitty part. Yeah. But that's not the main problem here. Yeah, the main problem is time. Okay, if we go in the bearish route, if we break 50 cents, let's say we break 50 cents today or next week. Let's say we get our V at 38 cents. Okay, and let's say why ever we are 100% not doing a reverse split. Okay, just for this version. The problem is that the play is still kind of fucked, because if this is T, we still need our macro higher low. That would mean that the rest of the year we would do something like this. Maximum price would be $3, $4 to $5. Most likely more like $1 or $2. It's still a nice play, but I know that a lot of you have bigger price targets. And I tell you, this T here took us from the V from this T to this point 283 days. This macro higher low could take quite the same or even longer than this here. Just saying. The rest of the year of 2026, maybe even the first half of 2027, it will be this. That's the shitty part. If we break 50 cents for the near future, even if there is no reverse split, it looks kind of shitty. Yeah, that's why it's bad. Yeah. For the question, is a reverse split killing the price targets? I don't know exactly how big. I think the biggest reverse split they voted for is 1 to 30. Is not a big one, and it would be the first one for BYND. In that case, I would say these price targets here, 44 to 15, is still reachable. But everything higher is off the table. Yeah. So if we're doing a reverse split, we're not going over this line anymore. Except you're doing a forward split. For the conclusion, and to make that absolutely clear. First, for my position, I closed 90% of my options with the break of 57 yesterday. I closed 100% my August, 100% my Septembers, and 60% of my January position. Still have 40% left of my options for January. And I sold 60% of my shares. That's my no financial advice. The rest I'm holding till 50. Why? We are talking now about a price difference of 7 cents. So, I mean, really. Yeah. I'm fucking bearish on it. To make that again, I was already bearish in the last months. Now I'm really fucking bearish, because for me, breaking 57 cents, it was a no-go line. Yeah, because of FFAI and GNS. But also I agree, there is still a tiny chance, yeah, that we're holding over 50 cents, and 7 cents, fuck it. Yeah. To miss maybe the big run because of 7 cents, no financial advice. Do your own risk management. But for me personally, missing it because of 7 cents isn't adding up for me. Yeah. But to make it absolutely, absolutely clear for even the people who don't understand me, after breaking 50 cents, for me personally, there's no bullish version. No, that it's over. 50 cents, and there's 100% bearish tracking. 100%. To make that now really absolutely clear, and that nobody is misunderstanding me. Yeah? This is not a opium channel where I will talk sugar talking you till we are at 0. Yeah, 50 cents, No. And for the question, fundamentals and blah, blah, blah shit, yeah, I will show that in AMC, for example. But just look at Google this week. Perfect earnings. Knife. Look at Intel yesterday. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Intel earnings yesterday. Where's this? Here the earnings. I think they surprised. Yeah. Surprised earnings. We had a fucking nice candle on Intel. I mean, this was, what was that? 13%. To make it clear, for Intel, for such a company, 13% is fucking big. And of course, because Kramer posted here a tweet, it knifed down again. Really? I say it again. On this channel, we don't care about fundamentals because it doesn't matter shit. Yeah. Or they short it back down. Yeah. Whatever you wanna call it. Yeah. It doesn't matter. I proved that. I think I don't want to convince anybody, but I think I proved that so many times. They can beat on earnings 5,000% and could still go down. We can look at that at AMC in a second, but for me personally, only levels are important. Okay, well then let's jump into AMC. So as always for AMC, for the big version, for if I think it's a 1-part squeeze, 2-part squeeze, my personal non-financial price targets, I will link you the big roadmap video at the end. Today we just look what we have done in the last days. So let's look. And because we are coming from beyond, isn't that the perfect example here for AMC? Because this earnings here was the best earnings in the last 100 years or whatever. You all wrote that, read that, yeah. And it was 20-30% uptrend. And then, since then, we dropped already 20%. I thought the earnings were so perfect. Or you want to tell me that, okay, because of that, they are shorting it down now. Yeah, but if they are able to do that, then fundamentals doesn't matter. The only perfect thing here is we got a surprise earnings. It was the best earnings, but they are still red. That's the perfect excuse. See, red earnings, very bad, has to drop. Just saying, we will see. I showed it here in May. We also got a surprise, and that was exactly the landmark we are right now. Just saying. Okay, so now for the tracking. So we get this over with. First of all, as already said in the last time, the version where we do this is off the table. Yeah, we are not allowed to break 161 again, but to that later. This version is off the table. My main version, as I said, when we break M, when we break $2.28, we are doing now our higher low. Why? It's the same thing like May 2024. Here, we did our all-time low, our V, we did our A, B, C, we did our pullback, and then we went over M and made our higher low. That's the best looking example for it. We did that already in January 2 and 2 times. Yeah. We did that here in January the 30th and here the January the 20th. Yeah. Also here, we went up, we did the pullback, we did the higher low. Same here, we went up, did the pullback, and we did the higher low. And if you say that 2025 was also a squeeze, this little shitty one here you did the same thing. The only difference is you did first a big higher low, but then also you made this uptrend, You made this pullback here. And after the pullback, before you got your tiny squeeze, you did the higher low. So in every single one, 2021, 2024, and 2025, every time before you squoze and before you got a big move, you did a higher low. I know that we wanted a higher low here in May, yeah, and we didn't got it, yeah. But this was just a higher low in the uptrend. This higher low, in my opinion, I can't say I can overlook that. This would be the higher low before the squeeze. That's why I'm so stubborn to see that, just saying. So, what does that mean? Is the peak of the higher low already in? How deep we have to go? Blah, 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 blah. So, if we micro track this would be our A, this would be our B. This, in my opinion, this at 259, the peak of earnings. Was it the peak of earnings? No, it was on Tuesday. Yeah, the day after earnings was our C, the peak of the higher low. Where is our target? V under higher low is always doing V under A. If you not know where your A bottom is, because it's just a straight line, you just take your fib. In that case, we have to go under the 786. In that case, we have to go under 178. But in that case, we already see, in my opinion, where the A is, and our A bottom is here, exactly at 183. So, in my opinion, we have to come lower than 183. In that case, that would be our lower high. Maybe this is already M, or we still have to do this, this, and then this. Thing is, does that mean we are not seeing anything next week? And in my opinion, for me personally, if we not suddenly drop today 20%, why ever, if we're not closing down here, no, I don't see anything for next week. Squeezy next week. This is for me too high. Yeah. In that case, next week will just be downtrending. Depends on the volume. Yeah. We can do this downtrend for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Just saying. Yeah. For me personally, for my tracking, I want to go under 183. Yeah. Or let's say at least if it's a stupid high, which makes no sense for me, but I'm also okay with something under 194. But not up here. That's too high for me. That's the main tracking version. Also, for all versions, we are not allowed to break 161. Yeah. So that's already now the bullish version. So for everyone, again, who only watching my bullish versions and are cutting off when I talk about the alternatives, you can already skip to the next one. Yeah. Because really, I get a little bit angry already. Because every time the questions is always wrong is from people who it seems like they're only watching the good versions, and then they are surprised when we're breaking levels. Yeah, again, I am showing you, or I try to show you on every single stock. Doesn't matter if it's AMC, Open, Beyond, whatever, the bullish and the bearish way. And they are fixed levels. I'm not showing that to be right. No, these levels especially have a reason. If you break levels, it doesn't matter how good a company is or how bad a company is. The fractal is always saying if you break this, that's bad or good. Yeah, again. So doesn't matter what version we are doing, or if bullish or bearish, breaking 161 is fucking bad for AMC. Really. What would that mean? That would mean that this top here is our lower high. And that this top in June is already the peak of 2026. That would mean if we break this, in my opinion, you will bounce somewhere in here. 129, 130, 125. You will bounce here. You will go up, but you will never, ever break this trend again. This will become your M. You will drop more, T, and then you will break all-time low. And this will take till end of year. AMC is not knifing to all-time low. This will take end of year. And to make that absolutely clear, it makes fundamentally, also for me, I see that AMC is fundamentally better than back in 2021, 22, 23, 25. It makes fundamentally no sense for me to do that, especially breaking all-time lows. It makes no sense, but I don't care. Breaking important levels, and 161 is a very important level now, is a no-go. If we do that, I am tracking absolutely fucking bearish. Maybe I'm wrong. And I don't see that yet. To the upside. Levels to the upside. If you break $3, doesn't matter if we do the higher, if we have done the higher low or not. There is no bearish alternative anymore. Yeah. So to the question, what is the best case? Yeah. And maybe that surprises you. The best case for me is not that we're doing this today or next week and then bounce. That's not the best case for me. The best case for me is I'm wrong. Yeah. The best case for me is that we are repeating something like this here in May. Same that we are repeating this. The best case for me is I'm fucking wrong, and whatever we're doing today, we are going next week. That's the best case for me. I don't see it because my main tracking says 100% no. But I mean, everyone should be already in position, yeah, who's playing with us this bullshit. So why shouldn't I'm hoping that we do this? Yeah, that's the best case. End of story. I just 99.99999% don't believe that. Yeah, because I'm stay to my tracking. Yeah, but that's the best case. Worst case, and again, when I see the worst case is we doing this. No, worst case for AMC is we doing this. Why ever? Because this kills the play. That's the worst case, to make that absolutely clear. Otherwise, no surprises. Yeah. And again, I like to talk to you guys, and you can ask me every question. Yeah. But I mean, if we do 5% intraday, it isn't changing anything. Yeah. Or if you're asking me, is that low enough? No, absolutely not. Yeah. To make a clear higher low, we have to go down here, or at least 995, 194. Yeah. Everything here in between is not low enough for my tracking. Yeah. And if I'm wrong and we're just doing this, okay, yeah, then my tracking was wrong. Yeah, but that is for me unpredictable. For levels, I mean, okay, our fixed level is we want to go to 181. Depends on the volume, how long it takes. If we suddenly do this, and if we break 259, even I would get bullish, because breaking this level to the upside, something is weird. Yeah, I don't think we will see that today, but then something is weird. Yeah, then it looks like upside. But to make that absolutely clear here, if we break this, we also have to break $3. It's a no-go to do this and reject here. Yeah, to make that absolutely clear. If we reject somewhere between $2.60 and $3.04, so let's say today, okay, let's say we do this. We reject. And next week we see this. Ugh. Because in my opinion, that is too high for a higher low. In that case, I would track this as lower high. That would be bad. So for me personally, what I want to see, if we just do this, okay, perfect, nice. I sit here happy with a smile. I was wrong. Yeah, we won. Yeah. If we're not doing this stupid thing, I want to see something like this, just to confirm that we're doing the higher low and then go. Yeah. And in the best case would be in the same time when we do this, that GameStop is fucking breaking $26 and $30, because that would be the next confirmation that AMC is doing higher low. Yeah. But GameStop is just doing nothing right now. Yeah. Okay. Next one is open. Just because we broke a level yesterday. For the overall tracking, very short. IPO, all-time high was our C point, lower high, midpoint T, V. Broke out of the macro trend, went up to our T, made a breakout retest with a perfect 0.5 pullback, broke out again, coming up to our M, and made a 0.5 pullback. And since then, I mean, it was a fucking long pullback. We had the Hopium bullish tracking and our main tracking. The Hopium bullish tracking was that this was our V, this was our higher low, and this would be already the next squeeze. I just warned, since every time when I showed that, we have to break 5.62 cents, otherwise this whole thing will be T, and this little thing here will be little t. Doesn't matter what fucking news, because I remember, only good news here, only good news here. But the stocks just said, I don't care. I do my fractal obligations and I don't care what news are saying. Yeah? So this was clearly small t, and this was clearly middle T of the B pullback. That's fixed now. Yeah? And for main tracking, I always said we have to go lower than 410, because I'm always wrong. Yeah, always, every single time I'm wrong. Yeah. We broke it yesterday. Perfect. So in the best case, we are finished with this shitty B pullback. Yeah. Can we go a little bit low again? Because we talked about AMC, FFAI, and beyond. You see, in the moment you break T, you're getting a fucking knife. Again, after you broke T, you're getting a knife. Yeah. I mean, this was what? 6%. Only after the break. Yeah. So, can we go lower? Maybe. Yeah. Our price target was between 4.7 to, I don't know, was it 3.44? Something in this range was our level to bounce. Yeah. What should happen next? Well, we should now do a little higher low. Depends on volume, how quick we do. And if bullish, our next target is between at least over 11. Yeah. And then the only question is, are we breaking all-time highs or not? Yeah. I don't have a position yet. I think I will wait for the confirmation of the higher low. Then I will get a position. I will start selling in this range here. No financial advice. I will leave some runners if we break all-time highs, but main position I will sell something in here, because there's no way to say if we break all-time highs or not. For levels, on the bullish side, everything over 564, and we are fucking bullish. And if we not have done the higher low till then, I think this is too high for a higher low. Happens. Just saying. For levels to the downside, everything under $3 is already fucking bearish. And absolutely confirmation is under 248. If you break 248, B is not allowed to touch the 786. You fucking go down. I don't have this version because that would mean that this is C. I don't have this version, but if you're breaking levels, it doesn't matter if I have it or not. Breaking this is already fucking bearish, so breaking $3 is already fucking bearish. Breaking $2.48 and it's over. Then you really fucking go down. Don't see it, but always have alternative levels. Okay, next, VIX. As always, volatility index. VIX bearish, market could go up. VIX bullish, market goes down. It's the simplest answer. We had for this version here, August 2024 was our peak. April 2025 was our lower high. And our midpoint was March 2026. And I'm still, even with this little market crash yesterday, the opinion, we didn't finish M. We didn't. M started here. To close M, we have to go under 1337. If we only track this M as one fractal, yeah, then we have here our peak, our C, our lower high, and this here on June 2026 is our midpoint. With this run yesterday, I think this midpoint was finished, and it was the little midpoint of our big midpoint was finished on Friday, July 10. And what we did yesterday was the little T of M. And I'm showing that. My prediction was that this was our little T, or at least this T. Yeah? That's why I left these candles here. I'm absolutely okay when I show my mistakes. I'm also just a human, just saying. So we went higher. But my main point is we didn't broke this little M here. We didn't broke 2074. If we do that, we come to that in a second, that's fucking bad. Right now, this what we did yesterday was just a little T of M. So for the bearish tracking for VIX, which would be bullish for the market, VIX has to go down here. Still has to go down under 1339. And again, this would be a little blow of top from the market. Still. Yeah. And I'm still leaning to this because it wouldn't make sense for me to do something different. But for levels, if VIX today or next week is breaking $20.74, that's bad. That's really bad. In that case, the only alternative I have is that we didn't do the little M of M. Yeah. In that case, this whole thing here would be just the little M of M. Yeah. And then we go down. Then we would go down to our, oh fuck. Then we would go down to our, to our 1339 level. Yeah. But one warning, if you break this trend line also, we are not talking about a little correction anymore. If we're breaking through this, we are talking about market crash. Really, really, really market crash. But for my conclusion, for VIX only, I don't have a bullish version for VIX. I just don't have it. So maybe I'm terribly wrong. Or it will do that. Yeah? The only problem I have is SPY. Because SPY broke my no-no line yesterday. Yeah. And I played short yesterday, a whole day. Yeah. And it was fantastic. But to make it also absolutely clear, because of VIX, I closed my short position before close yesterday. And Gladly I did that, because that bounce here would have been terrible from a short position. But the thing for SPY, it doesn't matter if we say that these candles are real or not. This break here was fucking bad. Yeah, and the break of this level here was also fucking bad. Yeah, so I'm really, I say that now absolutely clear. I'm in a very weird position right now because I don't see a bullish version for VIX. But if VIX is bearish, SPY has to go up. Yeah. But if I look at this right here, yeah, for me this is perfectly still our M. Yeah. And if we micro track just this, then this is our C, our lower high, and this was M of M. Yeah. I mean, there's still a chance to go up a little bit. Yeah. This would be then your little T of M, but then you would go down. And to where? It depends if these candles are, it doesn't matter if these candles are right or wrong. You should go something in here, 711. You will bounce them. This will be our T of this whole thing. And your next level is then 681. Yeah. For levels, it's pretty easy. Yeah. If you break 735 again, that's downside. I really have to say, in that case, yeah, there will be no prediction for me. Yeah. Simple because I'm really torn right now, in my opinion. I will play it intraday. Otherwise, I don't want to give a prediction because I'm really, really unsure. And I'm not a person who is, okay, then just say something and maybe we will have luck to be right. No, no. I'm really unsure about this right now because normally, again, if I only look at fucking SPY, this looks for me fucking bearish. And this is looking for me, okay, our next target for the next weeks, months is 680, 690. Because of VIX, I can't stand behind that 100%. Yeah. For levels, if we break 750, yeah, if we break 750, this downside target is off the table for me personally. Yeah. And then we can track it again. Right now, if you don't know what you're doing and if you not want to day trade, leave it. Wait for confirmation. Yeah. But also for the downside, if you break 735 again, I click everywhere today. If you break this level, that's bad. Yeah. Then we really will go down. Yeah. And for the last thing, just saying, that doesn't mean, yeah, if we do that, that everything here is dying. Yeah. We also saw that yesterday, fucking red market, but BYND, Doku, and so on and so on. Nothing really changed. Not everything is following a market crash. Just saying. Yeah. But yeah. Okay. I know SPY tracking today was shit, but I would say it's better when I say, okay, hands off right now, yeah, because I'm unsure, than just saying, yeah, opium, you know. Okay, as always, tutorial here, playlist here. The big roadmap video I have to update in some time now because it's already getting a little bit old. But in the roadmap video, the price targets and the ideas of 1 or 2 part squeezes or something like that are still right. Yeah, price targets because it's older videos are not there anymore. The prices, the real prices, but the price targets still are the same. If you liked it, leave a like. If you want to see more, leave an abo. And next update will be on the weekend. So yeah.